This video is brought to you by Scout's Eyes. If you're a talented footballer and you want to get yourself in front of a scout, visit Scout's Eyes right now or click the link in the description. Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We are here for the starting 11 today. Massive game, as I've been saying each and every week recently, but it is. Every game right now is a cup final. It's Arsenal at home against Aston Villa. A team that beat us earlier on in the season, remember? I remember that mad week when they turned over Man City easily, then they played us, beat us 1-0. So a little bit of revenge needed, but forget the revenge. We need the 3 points. Joining me to discuss the starting 11, we've got Lee Judges.
How do?
Julian's in the building. Gooner Lee. I haven't seen you for a while, bro. You good?
Man. Yeah, all good, man. All good.
And we got a very special guest today, Sean Oh No.
How we doing? You all right?
Oh no, right? And the oh no is because Sean, as well as being a massive Arsenal fan, is also a massive magician.
Yep, close-up magician, a lot of patience. Sporting Arsenal, you need it for the magic as well.
Well, we're looking for a bit of magic today from the Arsenal players because we need this. This game is hugely. As we're speaking, actually, half-time in the Liverpool game, they're losing 1-0 against Crystal Palace. So if it stayed that way, that'd be amazing for Arsenal. Man City, of course, yesterday winning by 5-1. So Lee, whether they win or lose, we know what we got to do each and every game. We've got to win.
That's exactly that. You know, they can go and win 10-0. City, if they want, as long as we win every game, there's nothing they can do about it. And that's the facts of the matter. A little bit different with Liverpool because of the goal average. But yeah, it's a big opportunity today. I think for today, I'm looking for. I don't want Arsenal to feel what happened Tuesday to affect us. I look back at the game. We played really well, by the way, on Tuesday. Mistakes cost us, but we done all right. We're a good team, so just keep that momentum going today. Be really interesting to see if there is any changes today. So you know
You thinking changes today?
Do you know what? I wouldn't make too many. And maybe Tomiyasu coming in to get some minutes would be the only one. Like, you know, talking to my mate coming up on the train, I think there's 3 players you can't leave out in the Arsenal side at the moment. That's the 2 central defenders and Declan Rice. So you can move it around a little bit on there. Maybe Odegaard as well. But I think that they've had a few days rest, haven't they? Come on. You know what I mean? Like, ain't like they've had to play.
Longer rest than Villa, actually.
A bit more normal rest.
On Thursday.
They didn't train till, was it Friday was the first day they trained. So they've had a couple of days, so they should be fresh, or a little bit fresher going into this game.
Yeah, what about you? Would you be up for changes, Julian, today?
Yeah. I'd want to see Tomiyasu start. And the reasons for that is, and I know everyone says it's one game at a time, but for me, you're looking at the week ahead, and the week ahead includes Bayern Munich. And I think for that game, you want Tomiyasu in. As long as he's not injured, and that's my fear here, that we haven't seen much of him, hasn't started a game, you've seen him quite fleetingly since he's been back, is as long as he's not injured, I think he's the perfect player, especially after Kivior's performance on Tuesday.
But what about Zinchenko? Wouldn't Zinchenko be you know, we know that, to me, I think the tactics from Villa today they're going to be quite deep. Try and hit us on the counter-attack with, you know, the pace of Leon Bailey on the flanks. And also, of course, they've got Ollie Watkins up front. Yep. So if we do get a lot of the ball, surely that's a game for a Zinchenko.
Well, I think we're always going to have a lot of the ball, but their main attacking threat is down their right-hand side with the players that you've just mentioned, primarily Leon Bailey. And I think Tomiyasu is far better equipped to deal with that than Zinchenko. And you can always bring Zinchenko on later if things aren't going to plan. Okay,
what about you, Gunnerly? I mean, what changes would you make today, if any?
Do you know what? It's so difficult because last year I made the mistake, and shout out to Laurie. I learnt a valuable lesson. I remember we were leading up to playing Man City at home, and the game before that we had Brentford at home, and I was like, look, rest, change, etc., etc. We then obviously drew against Brentford, and then we obviously lost against Man City. So you just want to beat what's in front of you and then kind of try and make the changes. We do have 5 subs as well, but I would go with probably Tomiyasu. And you know what, I'll be honest, I want Partey to play. I think when you play Partey, it's more the minutes because I feel like you're going to need him against Bayern Munich away, and I feel like he looks a bit sluggish. He looks like he can spray a ball still, but he just looks a bit sluggish. I want to get him up and running. And Partey's somebody who I feel he needs 5-10 games to get himself acclimatized, and then you see the full flowing player. So Partey's somebody I want to come in, and that's not to say Jorginho hasn't played well. He has, but I just feel like Partey, get him in rhythm with Declan Rice as well would be quite good.
You was nodding your head there, Sean.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, I'd love to see Partey. He's got to play. He's got to get some minutes, and we forget just what a quality midfielder he is. I love Jorginho, but this is the business end of the season now. We're going to need these extra players, and we don't want them going in cold. We need them to warm up and get into the game, and I think it's a perfect time for it to happen now.
What about up front? Because up front, Martinelli against Bayern, he had a bit of a nightmare. He's really, really quiet in that game. Trossard came on, scored. He's been scoring regularly. Is there a chance that maybe he should start? Does Jesus start? Do you rest him for the game? Does Havertz continue? He's played a lot of games, Havertz. Does he need a rest? Saka, does he need a rest? Or is it, as you said, this game's so important, it's all about going full pelt?
I think Saka's definitely going to play. Again, Martinelli, I think he's got to play just for continuity, get himself up and running again. But I think Jesus could come in today as well, just to kind of move the defence of Aston Villa around a little bit. We definitely have the options now. And I think yesterday in the embargo section that came out, Arteta said he's not afraid to make subs and he's not afraid to make changes. So I do think there will be maybe 3 or 4 changes actually. And I think, you know what, another one, he came in, he played well, ESR. I think ESR's got a really good chance to press from the front as well and, be another option. So we've got a good squad. I think we've got a good squad. So there's places and changes that can be had.
Would you change anybody up front?
Havertz is important. I've got a little feeling that maybe Havertz might play in midfield in Munich. So I don't know. If Jesus can play 2 games, I'm sticking Jesus.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because we've heard the talk about having to manage his knee injury. Mikel Arteta's pretty open about that. So I get the feeling he's going to be very important for that game against Bayern. You saw when he came on, he looked really good.
Yeah.
But then, what's the more important game? This
is more important, but
it's the easier game, isn't it?
But I think Havertz, has been brilliant for us the last few games. So I don't see it an issue if Havertz plays there. Maybe against, I think we made that something a little bit different probably against Munich, and Jesus gives us that. So for me, if you're looking, if one's going to play one game, I'd rather Jesus play on Wednesday.
Keep Martinelli in?
Yeah, I'd keep Martinelli in because, again, the way that Villa play, they press quite high up, so he's the best suited to exploit the space behind. The other thing about Havertz is, if I remember rightly from the last starting 11 we did, I think he's like 1 booking away from a suspension.
It's finished.
Oh, it's finished. So he can play. Okay, I'd still keep him out.
Is it today off or is it last?
The last game was the last time he played. So.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so it's done now.
Well, I'm in 2 minds now. Either or. But I want to see Jesus. I want to see more of him. I like the pace. Yeah. He's exciting. Not that Havertz isn't.
I don't want to see him out on the flank though. I think if for me, it's got to be Martinelli and Saka today as the 2 wide players.
So you leave out Havertz then?
Yeah, it's one of the 2. Whoever doesn't play today plays Wednesday. I think both will play Wednesday.
What, you think Jesus and Havertz will play?
I've got a little feeling that he might go with the team that finished,
What about what Gunnar said there, starting Smith Rowe? That's a shout, isn't it?
The reason why I like Smith Rowe is because, listen, I don't think he's done anywhere near what he's needed to do in an Arsenal top to get the number 10, to get the inflated wages that he gets. I don't really care about that, but I just feel like when you look at the player, he's not delivered. But what I do like about ESR is he presses from the front and he gives you that bit of quality. Do I think, again, as I said, he's shown it often enough? No, but I do think that there are certain games made for certain players, and this is a game for him. We can get at their back line. They haven't got Douglas Luiz. They haven't got Kamara as well. Obviously, unfortunately, he's out injured. So they're not going to have that. I mean, they've got Tielemans and they've got McGinn. So they do have a bit of ingenuity in the middle. But I just feel like ESR is a good player, a good option to have, and he can go
He's
forward.
been, of course, in the past, quite a few times been linked with Villa.
There you go, and I think stick
with
it
the
to them,
move with
stick
Villa.
it to them a little bit as well. Like, look, if Arteta keeps saying that he wants to keep him, ESR say he wants to stay, and this is a team that he's touted to go to, or they want him, just say no. Like, well, this is the kind of game that I'm going to show up and show out, and say that no, I'm deserving of my place in the squad.
Yeah. So, those any other changes anybody thinks they'd like to see happen?
I would like Smith Rowe. I mean, you've got to forget, when he got number 10, we had top goal scorer that season, I think, or the season before. When was the last time he played like 2-3 games in a row and started? I can't think. And I think he deserves it. I mean, the fans love him. He's got a real good relationship with the fans.
Fans love him, but we need to win these games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's
can score
late
goals.
in the season. If it was earlier on in the season, but it's getting late in the season now, where we have to win these games, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
true.
Yeah, I'm sort of changing my mind about Havertz now, because the more I'm thinking about the way Villa play, they're very weak on defending crosses. So I think we need a bit more height in there, and that could have an effect. So somehow I'd like to get Havertz in, maybe in that left 8 role, just so he can arrive late in the box. And
it's interesting that none of you have said Trossard. And Trossard, you know, he's been scoring goals. And the thing is about Trossard as well, and I said this the other day, it's not, I know he's sort of getting this sort of super sub tag, but even just as a substitute, he scores goals. He scores goals. Hold on, there's a chance there for Palace. Oh, and that was a decent chance. We're sort of watching a Palace game in the background.
Go on.
Is Elise another chance here, and it came off Mateta.
Keep going.
And the foul been given to Liverpool, but Liverpool been looking a little bit shaky in this game. I mean, it's still too early in the game to say it's going to go. They're losing 1-0 at the moment, but that was a good ball in there. Maybe if maybe that should have been attacked a little bit more, shouldn't it?
That was a good play.
But Palace, but here comes Liverpool coming forward now. Darwin Núñez.
The thing is with Trossard, and
Yeah, he doesn't just score goals off the bench; he scores goals.
the thing is though, like, I watch a lot of NBA and a lot of NFL, and there's in a team, in a squad, you have like starters and finishers, people that know their role. And I just look at Trossard, I feel like he's a finisher. I don't look at him and I feel like he's impactful. And I feel like when he starts, you know he's coming off in the 60th minute.
But he scores.
Yeah.
He does.
He scores goals when he starts, and it's all about.
I think
football's all about scoring
I don't
goals.
know. Listen, someone maybe say it in the stat, or I'm sure someone downstairs can show us or tell us. But I'm sure most of his goals have come off the bench.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think he's scored many goals starting. So, I mean, look, he's a great option. He's one of the best finishers at the club, probably between him and Martinelli.
I think he's the best.
So, yeah, listen, he's a great option. But I just feel like, again, he's a great option. I don't look at him as being a starter. And I think what Julian said is so right. I don't think he can attack this space as much as Martinelli. So, yeah, I like Trossard a lot, but I just would, unless it's the false number 9 role, I wouldn't start him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start him.
Then we've got Sean here, by the way, and Sean is a magician, right? Tell us about the stuff you do, because I'm intrigued, man.
So I do close up, which means right in front of your face, right in your hands, which I think is the most impressive stuff.
Right.
You can do it on stage and people go, oh, is it really happening? It's like behind the curtains doing all the magic. But yeah, I like to be right in your hands. I mean, I can demonstrate now if you want.
Show us
For this
something.
sake.
Yeah, let's see something.
Here's some cards I brought earlier.
You make him disappear. Julian disappear.
We can see what we can do. Cut in half.
I mean, no, permanently. I know some people we could get to.
Yeah. You don't need a magician for that.
so predictable.
So I brought red cards, obviously, to fit the theme. Do you want to shuffle or do you trust me?
Trust you.
Do you trust me?
I think you should shuffle.
Shuffle.
Thanks, Julian. It took me about half an hour
There
to
you go.
set them up in that order.
No, you shuffle.
No, you
Go on,
don't.
you
No, I
shuffle.
definitely
You,
don't shuffle.
you can't shuffle, can you? That's why.
I can't.
You can't
I can
shuffle.
try.
Right.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll pick on you, Robbie. So you can take a card at anyone you want. That one, no, anyone really. Free choice. Just when you're ready.
Any card, right?
Anyone, not that one. Okay, that one.
All
You
right.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to change your mind?
No.
Right, show everyone. Show the camera. Don't show me. I've seen this trick before. Okay, say stop anywhere you want. I'm going to put it back in. Yep, there. It's up to you.
Oh, what a save!
It's misdirection for me.
Oh my God.
It doesn't seem dodgy. So mix the cards up. You've seen the one where he says put the card in your cards and the magician
Jeez,
finds
yeah.
it. You've seen that one? I'm not going to do that, Robbie. I'm going to do it where you're going to find your own card. It means if you mess this up, it's your fault, not mine.
Right.
Bit of pressure. Just say stop where you think the card might be.
Stop.
Yeah, quite early, yeah? Okay, hold your hand up for me. Okay, bit of pressure because I'm on here already. And that's how I find your card. That was your card, yeah?
Hold on, wait a minute.
I thought it was your card. So I'm so sorry, mate. That was. Why are you lying to me? How
did he change
Very
it?
good.
Cheers. That's how I was in my life.
But it wasn't that card.
No, it was
I don't know what you guys have been seeing.
How the hell did
That's just the start. That's just the start. We've got more.
All right, let's see some more. Let's see some more.
Yeah, okay.
Just say it was a Jack of Spades you picked up.
Yeah, it's changed.
Might have been. But the cards are all different. They're more or less mixed up. There's probably a few in here that need to be mixed up a bit more. Are you happy to shuffle? You're okay now? Yeah, all good.
All right. Okay,
just take one out. Let's go. Pick on you, Lee. Go on, grab one out. Anyone you want. Ready?
Judges make sure it's the right one, mate.
Oh, there you shot. Okay. Look at the card. Don't forget the card.
Yeah, so I'll show it.
Yeah, show everyone else.
You have to close your eyes in like
Oh, look away. When you're happy. I wouldn't cheat, I promise. I've already cheated. Okay. And I need someone else to take the card. Just say stop, Lee, anywhere you want.
Stop.
There, okay, you grab that one now. Show each of your cards. So you got a card, you've got a card.
You're not looking at it.
I won't look, no. Okay, we'll use your card. If you're going to hold your hand up for me, we're going to take that card there. I'm not looking, I promise. Hold your hand up nice and flat for me. Like that. Brilliant. Now, I did this one when I was 4. I started when I was 4 years old. And I'm 43 now, so I won't look at this card here. That's the one there. Now, my hands are very fast, but the way I see it is this speed, okay? You'll see it that speed, but I see it this speed here. Let me demonstrate. You've got that card there, the Joker. That's yours. Ready? Watch this. Just like that.
What?
Very fast. That's how quick we do it.
How did you do
I see it slowly, but you got that one. You got the Joker, by the way. I just do it.
No. How did you do that?
What?
I can tell you, I'm going to kill you
That
afterwards. I don't want to kill you.
Unreal. That did not move from my hand.
I was looking, and I couldn't see. He didn't touch it.
Thanks. That's a compliment. Cheers, guys.
Well
and there's
done.
more. We're doing more. We're
Brilliant.
build up to it. Thank you.
That's
Nice
mad.
one.
He's
That's
sitting next
mad.
to us at the game.
Let's hope we can magic the 3 points.
That's
No.
sorted.
With that, I tell you what.
Can you change our tickets to hospitality?
Done.
What the hell?
Put you in the box.
That's incredible.
That's brilliant. A round of applause, man. Come on, man.
Thank you.
And where do you perform on, you know?
Private parties. I do a lot of birthday parties. I do a lot of kids magic, but obviously kids don't really appreciate the cards, so I do love doing the adult stuff. And I've done it for so long now. You know, it's the same sort of tricks, the same people reactions. You get used to it, and the more you do, the more you get more adventurous. So the ones I'm doing right now are sort of like the starter ones. And now I've got you hooked in. I can start doing more advanced stuff and. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's good.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Talent, isn't it?
You know everyone's going to tell you that we need you to magic a result today.
Yes, I'm going to do my best. Clean sheet.
We need a
3-4-0.
That's mad though. You literally didn't even touch his hand.
That did not move from my hand. I'm telling you, like, you know.
Well, we're about 12 minutes away from finding out what the team's going to be. I wonder, could you with your magic?
I'm getting it. Yeah, I'm getting it now. Yeah. Ramsdale in goal. Cedric up front.
That don't sound like magic to me.
Stephen says, has Ty got over the Ryan Babel penalty yet? No, he hasn't. This game, by the way, we're still sort of watching the game in the background. It's still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. So it's still obviously over half an hour to go. It is Anfield, but you know.
I'm very nervous, Anfield.
He is nervous.
This is just going to this goes to show how it can be, and it's going to be nervy for all 3 teams chasing this league, isn't it? Because you just cannot afford to slip up. Here's a chance here for Liverpool.
Every game's
But they
tough.
got away.
As we know, when you get into the running,
Yeah. They're doing
it's tough.
exactly what we did.
last season, yeah.
Down to almost a T. They were 5 points clear. We were 8 points clear with a game in hand. They were 8 points clear with a game in hand, or whatever it
I think
was.
they're over 8 points. I think there were 5 points before they came to us, and that's what turned it around, didn't it?
So I think it's so funny that they're trying to do their best Arsenal impression.
Do you feel there's a difference between Arsenal this year and last year when it's coming into the running? Because I mean, I was saying to somebody yesterday that I just felt that when we had last year's running, we had a lot of results similar to what Liverpool were doing leading up to, and when I say that, I mean games where we won in the last minute, or you know, what I mean, we came back. Whereas this season we haven't really been having a lot of comebacks. We've been getting the game won early.
The difference for me.
But the thing is, when you keep coming back all the time, it's almost like it catches up on you one time, and one of them turns into a draw, and when you really got no room for error, you know, that's where the problems can lie.
The difference for
here
me,
come Palace again.
The difference for me this season to last year, I didn't think we was the best team in the league last season.
Yeah.
I think City were the best team last season, and they flexed their muscles, but this season I think Arsenal, out of the players and the fan, I believe Arsenal are the best team in the league this season.
Still got that easier running though, City.
Yeah, they've got the easier running.
Do you know what I will say though? Like, and I don't know what you guys think, but last year when we played Bournemouth at home, 3-2 last minute, Reece Nelson goal. As amazing what at that moment was, we shouldn't be going life and death with Bournemouth.
No, exactly.
And I think yes, we actually have just killed games. We made them boring, but they're so we know we're going to win.
And that's how you win titles, isn't it? Because
And that's
the thing is,
exactly that.
when you have a lot of them last minute, as I said, they start to those draws. Those games start to turn into draws, and that's what happened. We drew with Southampton. We drew with West Ham. We drew with Liverpool as well. You know what I mean? So they start to turn into draws.
Southampton as well.
Yeah.
Were we 2-0 up at
Anyway,
Liverpool?
here comes Liverpool coming forward again. Sorry, guys, that we happen to be watching this
That
game.
looks a foul like the other way.
It did look like a foul the other way, and.
But I think that we are. Look. You add in £100 million player, that's going to help your team 100%.
Yeah.
Like what he's done for us has just been nothing short of magical. And when you come to like Arteta, I think he's learned, he's got better, he's improved, and I think in the Premier League, the players actually seem a bit more seasoned. Whereas in the Champions League, that's where they look a bit more wet behind the ears. So it's nice to see that Arsenal are going into games and they're just we know what we've got to do, meticulous. Do what we've got to do, and then we just move to the next game.
If you could be given only one right now, what would you want to win? The Champions League or the Premier League? Only one. You're only allowed to have one. Which one would you take?
Why are you only allowed?
Do you know what I was going to?
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying because you know what is.
It's
Again, I was at an event last night, and this was a bit of a debate going on with Arsenal fans. If you could only have one, which one would it be?
I feel like that shouldn't be a question though, because
but it is a
though.
question.
We're Arsenal. We can go.
No, I know. I know all that, and I know we want. I know we want both. It's a hypothetical question.
I don't think that's.
You're only allowed one. Which one?
I would say Premier League, but I don't think it should be
Premier
a hypothetical
League.
question.
Yeah, Premier League. I think it's a harder thing to win, and we're still new into the Champions League. You know what I mean? We're going to improve. Let's get this over the line and win that league.
Yeah, it's always the Premier League because it is a real league. Where Champions League, it's called a league, but it's not really. It's just a glorified cup competition.
I agree. Like, I'd love to win like the Champions League. I've never seen us win it. There's the part of me that feels that I've seen us win the Premier League, but I do think that the Premier League's the one, and we started off the beginning of the season. That's the one you wanted. First game of the season.
Yeah.
And plus,
it's mixed in the comments section.
Bayern Munich fans, there aren't many. Well, we don't see many Bayern Munich fans.
That's exactly it.
It's not going to be it's not going to hit the same. But I know every single Chelsea fan, Newcastle fan. I've got an Aston Villa family relative. So I've got everybody that I can just say, well, you know what? We are the Premier League champions. It's quite nice. Yeah,
but you could say you're the Champions League.
Yes, but I don't think it hits the same.
They're both great. They're both great to win, aren't they?
You've got, for example, a Crystal Palace fan. They're a nice club, but they don't care about the Champions League because their main priority is staying in the league.
But they probably don't care about the Premier League much, not winning it.
Yeah, they don't care about winning the Premier League. Obviously, they do, but they know they're not going to probably win it. So for them, it's just a bit like Champions League. That is like a far cry from anything. So it doesn't hit the same, and then obviously not belittling Crystal Palace, just saying how it is.
All right, well, we're about 5 minutes away from finding out what the team is going to be today. It's going to be very, very interesting because we all know we've got that game coming up on Wednesday night against Bayern Munich where it's 2-2. So we've still got a great chance of going through, despite the fact that, you've got to say the advantages with Bayern Munich. It's still a great chance. It's still 50-50, so... and it's a game that can go to penalties and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be so interesting to see what he does. Where is he placing? Well, they're both. I don't even know about placing priorities because they're both priority.
Oh, this is the thing. It's why this is going to be intriguing over the next few weeks, because after this game, as you say, you got Bayern Munich, then you go to Wolves, then you got Chelsea.
Yeah, but he's got the squad to do it.
Every game,
he's got the squad.
He's got the squad, but he's making the right decisions, right changes.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier this season because he's got more of a depth of squad. And the other thing is, we've hardly got any injuries, whereas a lot of the other teams have got injuries. And I think we're really well suited to. We're set up to do it because, as you've said, Liverpool for pretty much the whole season have been getting these last-minute goals. I think they've been brilliant, Liverpool, but they're not as good as we are, and it is going to catch up with them. And you saw that Thursday night. And the other aspect is playing Thursday has an effect. So they've only had a couple of days to prepare for this.
Off 2 attackers here, look.
Yeah.
But bringing on 2 attackers.
And they've looked like they're going to drop points for a while,
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Yeah. Best in the World 13 says, I'd usually say the Champions League, but I'm not trying to see our title drought hit 20 or so in the Premier League. We've got to remember, we haven't won the Premier League for a very, very, very long time.
Do you have someone said to you, like, after the Invincibles?
Yeah.
Someone
20
said,
years.
like, it'd be 20 years before you win the title. Well, I would have laughed at them.
Yeah.
I would have laughed at them and said, don't be
crazy,
silly, but
it's crazy.
It's incredible.
Yeah, but if you said to a Liverpool fan in
the 90s, the same
1990
thing,
that you're not going to win the league again for, how long was that? 30 years?
Well, we should have won the Champions League that Invincible year as well.
And of course, if you'd said to a Spurs fan in '61, you're never going to win it.
They would have believed it.
They would have believed it, yeah.
How did
Just
they
see
miss
things
that?
are not happening for them.
How
are
did
they?
they miss that? There was just another big chance there for Liverpool. They're appealing for handball now. I don't think that was.
See how like, you know, like that fall to them normally and they score. It's just things are just not quite happening. They're going to have to work really hard for it.
Pressure's building.
I tell you what, though, a draw. I would even listen. The loss would be amazing, but a draw would be perfect as well.
But it
this
also
needs to get into the 80 minutes, still 1-0 up.
But it
at
also
Palace
takes
for it,
takes the pressure off Arsenal for this game because I know you said it
Well, no, it's still right. How does it take the pressure off?
It slightly takes the pressure off because if you're
It
paying,
the pressure's the same because you need to win.
No, it's not the same
He won't argue because Man City won. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
so that is
They're
one.
top of the
But
league.
if they both, I'm not saying Arsenal don't have to win because they do, but when you've got both teams winning,
if we don't win today, that Manchester City go at 1 point in front of or 2 points in front of us. So where is there no pressure on the game?
no, it's not no pressure.
What are you talking about? Where is there less pressure
Listen to the detail. I didn't
Get
say.
the magic wand out.
I did not say no pressure. I said slightly less pressure. When you get both teams winning,
There's more pressure.
both teams winning.
There's more pressure.
And you're going
Because
last.
you
To go
know
last
that this
is the hardest.
chance. This is if Liverpool don't win this game today, then Arsenal know this is the big chance.
It's a better
to
pressure.
really ram home an advantage.
Rather than having to keep up, you can press ahead.
No, but
and
there's more pressure because if we don't win, we don't go top.
But then you've got, if both of them win.
and you've got two teams running.
It doesn't matter about both. It's still one, isn't it?
It does, yes.
And Manchester City ain't going to lose a game.
You talk as if it's like completely.
That was nearly
No, it's not. You can't shoot.
You can't say
Shores and certainties.
And Man City are not playing as well as Man City
No,
can
but they've got an easier
But
running.
they're
They've got
winning.
winning.
But as you said, no games. Look at Palace at Anfield should be a no-brainer, 3 points.
I have to say, a lot of people in the comments are not, are not really agreeing with you.
I don't get it, mate. If we don't win, we don't go top.
And listen, Liverpool are a different animal to Manchester City.
There's a chance again for Liverpool. Van Dijk, he's headed it wide. He just headed it wide there. But there's still 20 minutes left in that game. Still a long time to go. And we know that Liverpool have been one of the masters of scoring late goals. But there was a chance there. You do think to yourself as Liverpool are ramping it up now that Palace need another goal.
And if I could just expand on that point as well.
Not really, Julian. You've been absolutely smashing the comments.
There's another aspect, is that if
changing the goalpost
if Liverpool don't win, then the atmosphere at the beginning of that game it's just more positive. Do you remember last season when Man City smashed, I think it was Everton, just before we went to the game, and it was
we played Brighton that day.
We played Brighton. It was a slightly negative. I think we lose that about
Yeah,
3-0,
lost
wasn't it? And I think the effect
how's
of
it going to be
City
negative because it's
slightly. It's not negative. It's more positive. If Liverpool don't win this, we'll go with a far more positive.
No, mate. Listen,
the
Julian,
pressure is still
there's
on to
more
win the
pressure.
game.
It's pressure, but it's a more positive pressure. And we all go into it with a
Positive
bigger
No, yeah,
smile
you're
on
right.
our face.
Okay, fine. It's positive because you think, okay, there's one team now possibly drop points there. They could be out of it, whatever. But there's more pressure because if we don't win,
yeah, and then it's
we
like
aren't top.
Yeah, and then it's like people start questioning Arsenal. Saying,
Nothing really changes.
Missed it.
And then do you know what happens?
bottling.
The pressure then goes on to Wednesday. That just intensifies. You don't want
Nothing
that.
really changes. Nothing changes.
Anyway, let me get the
If
lineups
Liverpool lose
going.
this game, nothing changes.
Let's get the lineups. We've got the
does.
lineups.
Oh,
out,
let's get
right?
in like that.
So let's take a look at it now. In goal, you didn't manage to. Your magic didn't manage to get Ramsdale in. It's David Raya in goal. Right back, Ben White, William Saliba, and Gabriel. Gabriel does start. There was a talk that he could be out. Alexander Zinchenko starting at left back. And then a midfield of Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Kai Havertz.
Okay.
That's what we said.
Up front, Bukayo Saka,
Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus,
Martinelli.
and Leandro Trossard in from the start. I had a feeling we could see that, and that has happened. The bench is Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Jakob Kivior, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Eddie Nketiah, and Gabriel Martinelli. A very, very strong side indeed. Let me just give you the Villa side quickly. In goal, Emi Martinez, Konsa, Diego Carlos, Pau Torres, and Luca Digne is their back four. John McGinn, Tielemans, Morgan Rogers, and Zanello in the midfield. And up front, Moussa Diaby and Oli Watkins.
Oh, no!
Just missed another chance there.
So it should have been oh yes, not oh no.
I can't believe it. They missed it.
All right, so guys, you've seen the team now. Reactions to that team. A very strong Arsenal team. But I guess,
It ain't your day.
Jesus and Trossard in from the start.
Well, that tells me Trossard can play too. Jesus can play both games now, So, and I had a little feeling he was going to put Havertz back in there today to get Jesus in. I think it's the
Havertz in the midfield.
Yeah.
Listen, on Tuesday I did the watch along here, and I should have said it then, and I didn't. I said prior, you can't go against Arteta because everything he touches turns to gold. I don't like the team personally.
Why?
I probably wouldn't have started Trossard. I think you need to get Partey. Maybe there's a medical reason, but I think Partey should have started, and I think Tomiyasu should have started as well.
But I said Trossard. You know what it is with me, right? And this is why I was kind of sort of saying it in the build-up, right? In the West Ham, by the way, losing 2-0 against Fulham. I was just thinking.
This Thursday thing don't really no good.
I was just thinking to myself that we need goals in this game. You see the pressure. Look at the moment this game with Liverpool. They haven't scored a goal. We need goals. Trossard's on fire at the moment.
I get
He's scored it. He's put him in from the start because he's not only a player that is a super sub.
I get
Jesus, obviously, you guys are all saying how well he played, so get him in. There's a chance there. What a save that was!
He didn't know anything about it. That was just luck.
How did Alisson save that
kicked it at
from
him.
Mateta? How did he save that?
That should have been. That would have been.
That's an unreal save. What a save that was by Alisson.
Game changer.
He saved his
That
team.
is an unbelievable save. No.
Oh, he did.
How did he
He put
save
his hand
that?
up. He actually
Wow.
saved it.
Yeah, he did save it.
How did he
hand goes
save
up, his hand
that?
goes up.
He got his hand up and
Wow.
saved that from point blank range from Mateta. That could have been 2-0
Wow.
to Palace, and then
That would
Palace
have
here
been
with a
it.
corner.
Go on.
That would have been it.
Game over.
Crazy game.
Wow.
I agree with you, by the way, about Trossard.
Oh, they're really up.
Oh,
Oh no!
He's missed it.
Trent
He's missed it.
No, you can't.
Jones.
What is going on with these
How
chances?
did he miss that?
Look at that boy.
Pressure, isn't it?
Little boy's got a City shirt on, hasn't he? How did he miss that? I mean, this is what we're talking about, Julian. When you're talking about pressure.
Yeah.
No, there's no pressure.
How has Jones missed out? He's done everything right as well. Oh. Put it wide.
He looked like he was going to bring him down there and all.
I said just foul him.
No, but then he gets sent off.
Yeah, gets sent off.
Oh dear, oh dear. He will not sleep tonight.
I thought he was going to take his shirt off and then he got booked and sent off.
But, yeah, sorry, just going back to the Trossard.
I think he scored goals. He's the most clinical. I think he's the one that has the best skill at putting that ball in the back of the net. And yeah, I like him as an impact player, but I think sometimes you need a chance and he's deserved it.
Yep.
Start him.
Was he going to say use it?
I just think you've got to get your best players on the pitch, and Trossard is fantastic. But I want to see players that we know that are killers, the ones that were there last season that helped us, get back in some rhythm. That's my only thing. Trossard, listen, the team, I like it, but I just wouldn't have picked it personally. That's all.
Yep.
I see what Lee's saying, but you can't argue with the manager.
But that's what
I said
Lee
this. I
said.
said this on Tuesday.
I totally agree. I get that. I can see. I would have liked to have seen Tommy. I think now.
No, but he is thinking about Wednesday as well. You do need to make some changes, and Trossard is good enough to come in and do a job. And we've got 2 big games in the space of 3 or 4 days, and he's playing that with a view of Wednesday night. But the other thing about Villa, I think Villa have got some injuries, and Villa might be 4th at the moment, but their form, they're in a false position. I think they're in a false position before because they were playing ahead of themselves. Their performances are well ahead of what you'd expect from them, and now it's just evened out. If you look at them over the last 5 games, I think they're 12th in the form table. They've had...
they're not been great.
Yeah, I think they've...
They're still dangerous.
When they beat us 1-0, some people were saying they could win the league. And we knew that was never going to be the case.
Some people were saying, you should have just kept Emery. And I was like, no. No. Michael says, incoming, we're bottling it from Gooner Lee because it's a team he doesn't like.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I will say, I absolutely despise Liverpool. I will. But what I will say is, this is crazy what we've seen. This is absolutely crazy what we've seen from Liverpool. Do you know the joke of it? If they won today, I still don't think they would have won the league anyway. But they are helping us massively.
I still think that they'll get something from this game.
They probably will. It's still a lot of time.
Yeah. Look, I said that's what I'm not giving any guarantees.
On Thursday, this Atalanta, I would say Atalanta on form should be a poorer team than Palace. And if Atalanta can beat them 3-0, then why can't Palace get
what, they're about 6th in their league, aren't they? So
yeah, but it's...
Yeah, what you're going to do? This?
That's just Gasparini's a good manager.
I'll tell you what with Crystal Palace though, they're the last team to win at Man City.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they are.
They got a draw. They get a draw against City
remember us doing us a couple of years at the Emirates.
Didn't they get a draw against? Didn't they get a draw against City this season?
Oh, they're falling over.
Ozef says, Robbie, do we still sing "She Wore a Yellow Ribbon" if we play in the final at Wembley in the Champions League? We most certainly do.
It's May.
No, I don't think we do.
No, it's June, isn't it?
No, it's June, and that song is about May.
So 1st of June, is it the final?
Yeah, 1st of June.
It's a remix, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't really fit, does it, June?
Right, let's get some predictions in. God, this guy. You think that fans wouldn't sing it because it's June?
Well, they can sing. It's a bit like the Havertz song.
3 years ago, we was
60 million down the drain. It's actually 65, so that's incorrect.
Well, you go and tell somebody.
And 3 years ago, when we was poor, we were still the best team in the world.
The greatest team the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
I never understood what Leicester's got to do with that song. Over land and sea and Leicester.
It just rhymes, I suppose. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right, let's get some predictions. Let's start with our guest today, Sean. Prediction for the game.
I was going to say 3-1, but I doubted our defence against Brighton. I didn't think they'd be as strong against Brighton, and they held up. So I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0.
3-0 to Arsenal. Yeah.
Gooner Lee.
Exactly the same. Same thing. I was going to say 3-1, but we just don't concede. So for some reason, I'm going to go 3-0.
I was going to go 3-0 as well.
Okay, no. I changed my opinion.
You can go 3-0.
I said it already.
You can go 3-0 if you want to go 3-0.
I'm going to go 3-0. That's what I thought before, so I'm going to stick to it.
I'm going to go 2-0. I think it'll be a little bit more conservative, but I do think we'll keep the clean sheet.
I said 3-1, and it was only really sort of based off of the fact that we did concede during the week, so maybe, but I hope we don't concede. And you're right. I think I said in my last prediction that we against Brighton that it would be 3-1, and we didn't concede. So maybe I'm like you. I need to back the team more in that aspect because the defence has been brilliant. Apart from the other night, some uncharacteristic
definitely
defending for sure. But yeah, we have to back the team. So looking forward to the game. It's massive, and this game is still playing out in front of us as we speak. And you know, this could have a bearing. Maybe, as Julian says, maybe it takes a bit of the pressure off. If, according to him,
more positive pressure, a different type
it's
of pressure.
positive pressure now.
Yeah, it's a different type of pressure. But if
They're in again. Go on, son.
Let's just see this attack. No, didn't really fall
so
for
how
him.
happy are we going to be before the game? We're going to go into that stadium in
It
such a
doesn't
point.
change nothing. Whether they lose, it does not.
It does. It changes the atmosphere.
Oh my God.
Do talk some crap, you do.
Mate, there's more pressure on us, Julian.
I don't see how it does, but you know.
Well, it does, because Man City are 2 points in front of us.
there's more pressure on
So
us.
a draw's no good to us today, nor a win. But like, you know, listen to Julian and enjoy life, ladies and gentlemen. In Julian's world.
Anyway, let me just give you the starting 11 once again before we leave you. It's Raya in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, Trossard and Jesus. Probably, apart from maybe say Partey being there, one of the strongest teams we could put out. No Jorginho or Partey in the starting lineup. They're all on the bench. Guys, don't forget, we've got the watch along coming up, right? So you don't want to miss that. Gunali, you're here for the watch along, right? So a massive watch along. So make sure you check that out. It's a huge game, 4:30 kickoff, and we got it all covered here. And then, of course, later on, I'm going to be speaking to fans outside the stadium. Me and Cecil, we're also going to be interviewing the guys here in the studio, and you get a chance to have your say as well in our call-in show, where you can call in and let us know what you thought about the game, and hopefully it's a massive, massive win. As it stands, it's still 1-0 to...
I don't know.
1-0 to Palace.
I don't know how.
Just about.
I do not know how.
Also, Palace could have scored.
So, sorry, Sean, you wanted to say something before you go?
That completely threw me off. Yeah, I'm all over the place right now. So my heart just
Should we just take this corner? Just watch this corner before we go. Let's just watch this corner. Liverpool have got a corner with Harvey Elliott coming on. Jones just came off after that
and
big
a sleepless
miss.
night for Curtis Jones.
It's gonna hurt him even more because he's a scouser.
Harvey Elliott.
Good.
So Blosley to take
I love it.
the corner. Can Palace keep this one out? 8 minutes left in this game. Van Dijk's there waiting in anticipation. Here comes the corner.
Oh, go on, keeper.
Keep
Go
on,
on, keeper.
It's mayhem. It's going to be like this for the last 8 minutes of the game. At the moment, it's still Liverpool losing by 1-0 at home against Crystal Palace. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll be seeing you very soon.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.